Hi, my name is Joshua Brody. I run the Lymphoma Immunotherapy program at the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai in New York. This is a very exciting conference, the ICML 2025, with lots of great data, but I think amongst the most exciting abstracts being presented are really an update of a cohort within the EPCORE NHL-2 study. So this was presented by Lorenzo Falchi and specifically focusing on the cohort of R-CHOP plus epcoritamab for frontline treatment of high-risk DLBCL. So just to comment on some of the exciting aspects of it, again, this is a follow-up. We already saw some of the preliminary data presented in abstract. The results were great, but all that matters is how long patients stay in remission for, not just the early responses. So that's the exciting aspect of this update. And probably one of the most important parts of this study is that when we say high-risk DLBCL, these are very high-risk patients, defined as, in this case, IPI 3 through 5. So the highest-risk patients, just for context, the most transformational, FDA approval in this space was the results of the POLARIX trial, also looking at high-risk patients, but that study included IPI 2 as well as 3, 4, 5 patients. So perhaps this cohort, by its definition, is an even higher risk group. And the quick punchlines of the study are that the results were great, that the vast majority of people were getting remission and complete remissions, but here at an average follow-up of about 24 months, still 82% of all the patients still in remission, and that compares quite favorably with other phase 2 and also the randomized phase 3 POLARIX trial I just mentioned. Just never going to compare trials, but if we were to do a little cross-trial comparison here, that POLARIX trial had about 76, 77% 2-year PFS in the POLA-R-CHP arm, whereas the R-CHOP arm had about 6% less PFS than that. So that's pretty good. This EPCORE plus R-CHOP cohort showed a PFS of 2 years of 82%, so pretty favorable. But as I said, this is by its definition, a very high-risk group. If you look just at the IPI 3 through 5 patients from the POLARIX trial, their PFS was a bit lower, maybe about 75%. So again, we would never compare trials, apples and oranges, but 82 sounds like it might be a little higher than 75, and certainly it sounds like it's a lot higher than the R-CHOP in that large trial where the 2-year PFS in these high-risk patients was about 65%. So a great benefit so far. The reality is, we need real head-to-head studies, so the phase 3 randomized trial version of this study well underway, and hopefully we'll get efficacy data from that within the next year or so. The thing we already have from just these first, dozens of patients is that this therapy was well tolerated. The side effects were mostly R-CHOP related. There was, of course, some CRS related to the epcoritamab, almost entirely low grade, grade 1 to 2, very low single digits, 3 to 4% of grade 3, almost no patients with Icahns or other surprising adverse effects. And we have seen some cytopenias with all these bispecifics, but again, the numbers have been quite low, and even apparently, and added on top of cytotoxic chemotherapy, still pretty well tolerated with very low incidence of febrile neutropenia and infections. So not surprisingly, pretty tolerable combination as we might expect, and that would probably still continue to play out in the ongoing randomized trial. So this might be a very exciting first sneak preview at what you might see from that upcoming results of the randomized trial, adding epcoritamab, a bispecific CD20 by CD3 immunotherapy on top of this standard of care chemoimmunotherapy. So a very exciting time to see advances for these high-risk DLBCL patients.